If you're thinking about moving to Austin, Texas, I actually have to tell you a quick story. So Aaron and I were actually supposed to film at a completely different community with a different builder earlier this morning, but we sat down with the builder rep and we were like, what makes this neighborhood special? Why do people want to move here? And he was like, honestly, like not that many people want to move here because when they see this neighborhood, all they really want to do is see and move into this other neighborhood down the road. So Aaron and I actually talked about it and we were like, you know what? We don't want to show you a neighborhood just to show you a neighborhood. We want to show you the spots in Austin where people actually are moving to and where they want to live. So literally we packed up our bags right then and we just walked out and we came straight to this community where we're at right now. And honestly, after just kind of looking around, kind of getting a lay of the land, driving around, seeing some homes, like we honestly totally get why so many people are moving to this area. So what we're gonna do today is walk you through a couple of homes that are perfect examples of what you can get in this neighborhood. And all throughout the video, we're gonna tell you everything you need to know about this area that is making it so great and so compelling to so many people. All right, so one of my favorite things about this neighborhood is that they've got some of my absolute favorite builders building inside of here. And so one of them is Perry Homes. And so I'm gonna take you first inside the 50-foot Perry Homes model. Then I'm gonna take you through the 60-foot Perry Homes model and just wait until you guys hear the prices on these homes. It's like seriously insane, all right? So let's get on in. So right when you walk through the front door, I'm actually gonna take you kind of straight into the heart of the home, but we're skipping some really cool stuff that we're gonna come back to here in just a minute, okay? So first Aaron sighting of the day.
Booyah.
Sup, baby? Okay, so I'm taking you straight into the heart and it's kind of this like open kind of kitchen, dining, living space. And so first, let's pop into the kitchen. All right, so you got this big island right here. I love this like dark, kind of moody, sexy stone countertop here with this stainless steel big single sink right in the middle here. Really tasteful, very well appointed. I'm not even gonna tell you all about it, all right? You can just see it, just look at it. Let's show them some juicy B-roll here. All right, so pantry check. I love a corner pantry, as you guys already know, because it really just gives you like some good extra space. And so honestly, this pantry is pretty compact, but like because it's a corner pantry, it's a very like good utilization of space. All right, so you got this big long bar area. You could use this for like a liquor bar or coffee bar, whatever you want, obviously. You got this big open kind of area for the dining space here. I like actually that there's not like a formal dining room in this home, because really, like, does anyone out there still use a dining room these days? No, we all use a dining space. And so I love that it's right here between the kitchen and the living, because that's where we all want to eat anyway. They've got it set up like a 6-seater, but honestly, you could fit a way bigger table in here. You could easily fit an 8-seater dining table in here. No problem whatsoever. Now, going into the living room, so one of my favorite things about this builder is the way that they do their windows. They prioritize natural light almost above like anything else apart from like build quality, right? So you're gonna see just windows all over the place, super light and bright, mega tall ceiling here. Like, I don't even know how tall these ceilings are, like 23 feet, something like that. But anyway, plenty of space in here to fit your sectional couch with chairs, mount your TV right up here. Makes perfect sense. Like, I absolutely love it. All right, so let's actually, before we hit the backyard, let's go into the master. So I love that the master is like kind of tucked away in the back here. And like, for what you're gonna find out is the price of this home and for the size of this home, this is a very nice size master, like a king size bed here for context, big windows out to the backyard. Like, guys, I'm a looking and I'm a liking. So you've got these double doors here going into the master bathroom. Again, guys, for what you will find out is the size of this home, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. The size of this master bathroom is just like 10 out of 10. All right, double vanities here separated by a big standalone garden tub. Like freaking A. I'm 6.5 feet tall and I could fit inside that tub, no problem. Big kind of corner walk-in shower here. We got the commode room, which, you know what, guys? See here, close this toilet lid. Let's do a little knee room check. You know, it's a little tight. It's a little tight, but it works. It works. Daddy can do his business in here, or mommy, you know, I'm not trying to discriminate. All right, let's check out the master closet here. Very nice size master closet. Holy moly, they got this extra little bonus little hang up area over here. So again, guys, like for the size of home, this is a very nice size master closet. And it's one of the reasons that I seriously like love this builder. All cards out on the table. Like, I freaking love this builder because they think about things like that. So if you're looking around and you're like, man, like, I love this builder too, and maybe this location isn't what works for you, this builder builds all over the Austin area. So definitely reach out to us. I have a great, I actually went to high school with one of the executives of this building company. I can hook you up, give us a shout, let me know, and yeah, we'll get you set up. Okay, so something that I skipped, just to show you some context here. You know what? I skipped the backyard. Hold on. Let's go to the backyard first. All right, so just leaving the master. Let's pop in the backyard here and see what we can see. All right, so you got a big kind of jumbo size covered back patio. And you know what's interesting is, like, normally I would come out here and be like, this is a massive upgrade. It's gonna cost you $20,000 to do this porch. However, here in just a little bit, I'm gonna talk to you about the pricing, like the base price of this home, but then also like what would it cost for all of these upgrades? And you're gonna be shocked at how few upgrades are in this home. Most of what you see is what you're gonna get, all right? So let's step down here into the yard. Okay, so normally there would be a fence right over here and then a fence right over here, but this is a 50-foot lot, okay? So there's gonna be a fence right over there, and then 50 feet away, there's gonna be another fence. And so again, like, this is what people move to Texas for, all right? We're in a great neighborhood with great schools. It's super safe. You can get a very nice size yard. And on top of that, you can get some hill country views out here. Like, guys, I don't know. So far, I think this neighborhood is a 10 out of 10. Okay, now let me take you back to the dining area just so that you can see where this bonus room is relative to the other stuff. All right, so here's the dining table, Aaron siding number 2. Okay, so right on the other side of this dining table, there's a little hallway that I'm gonna take you down right now, go all the way down to the end. And this is kind of the first guest room or kids room, I guess. A very nice size closet in here. Like, holy freaking moly, for a guest room, this is a really great size closet. But yeah, I think they've got a queen, I think there's a full or a queen size bed, I can't quite tell. Not a huge room, but honestly, for a kid, for a guest, this is all you need. And then right down this little hall here is a full bathroom, actually. So whoever gets that bedroom has access to just like this entire walk-in shower, commode, and sink area. I think that's like a really nice touch for kind of multi-generational living, kid coming back from college, something like that. Now, let's go back to the front. Okay, so we're at the front door. Told you I skipped something kind of cool. If you were to come through the front door and just hang a left, the first thing you're gonna see is this very well-appointed, very nice size study, office, library. You could even turn it into like a kid's playroom if you want. But I love it when there's an office at the very front of the home, especially when you've got like these nice kind of double glass pane doors here. Like, very nice touch. Good job, Perry. Okay, now before we head upstairs, so just so you can kind of see where I am here. So here's the stairs, all right? And right under the stairs is this half bath kind of tucked away, okay? So per usual, nicely appointed, but one thing that I really like about the half bath being placed right there is, like, one of my pet peeves is when a half bathroom is just like on the same wall as the TV, like where the half bathroom, you just walk right out into a living room. And it's like, man, if you're at a party or something, or you have a guest over and they have an upset stomach, they need to do their business or something, or I don't know, maybe even they just have to pee. Like, it's really embarrassing to kind of just step into a bathroom right in the middle of everybody and do your thing. But over here, it's like you get this half bath, this guest bath, like really tucked away. And that's something that's important to me. But let me know if that's something important to you. Okay, so let's head upstairs. First thing you're gonna see when you get up here is this game room, okay? And I've seen this plan before in other parts of Austin, and I really like it a lot, okay? So this isn't one of those crazy houses with a big old media room or anything like that. So you're probably gonna have a TV, gaming center, or something up here. They've got it set up with the foosball table. That's a nice touch. Also like that it kind of looks over into the kind of main level living area. I just think that's cool. Okay, so you pass through the game room, and it's a very simple plan up here, okay? So you got 2 bedrooms. Here's one. Again, guys, like, super light, bright. I see pickleball courts right across the street. Freaking awesome location here. Plenty of room for whatever size bed you want. Closet, other side of the hallway, we've got us another closet. Guys, too cute. I mean, look at this. They've got this set up with like these 2 little twin beds. Like, oh my gosh. Which reminds me of my boys' room right now. All right, now right here is the upstairs kids bathroom. Okay, so you got the shower tub combo, you got the toilet, you got the double vanities. And guys, like, that's the house. Like, it's pretty simple, right? So you've got 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, with a game room, with a study, 2 stories, 2-car garage. Like, what more could you want? Next, we're gonna give you a tour of the house next door, which is stunning. And we're gonna give you like the very specific pricing for this particular neighborhood. But first, let's talk a little bit about where we are right now. So we are in Georgetown. Well, it's definitely one of the most popular northern Austin, Texas suburbs. So if you take I-35 north straight out of Austin, you're gonna hit Pflugerville, Round Rock, and then you're gonna run smack through the middle of Georgetown. And I think Georgetown has just exploded in popularity for so many reasons. Like, first, you kind of feel like you're a little bit away from like the crazy hustle and bustle of like central Austin. People in Georgetown are just awesome. Like, there's a very strong sense of like closeness and community there. I think in Georgetown, just part of the culture there is people take care of their stuff, okay? So that goes from like their houses just like this. These places are freaking immaculate. I mean, they are brand new. Let's be real. But like the parks, the public spaces, like people care. And I always say, like, if you're not the type of person who cares about your stuff and you don't care about your surroundings, or you throw trash on the ground, or you don't leave something prettier than when you found, like where you found it, you are not gonna fit in Georgetown. One of my favorite things about Georgetown is just like the super idyllic, quintessential historic Texas downtown that they've got there. There's lots of really cool boutiques and retail shops, coffee shops, bars, all sorts of stuff. Like, I've always said, like, the downtown Georgetown at night reminds me of what kind of 6th Street in Austin was probably like back in like the 60s and 70s before it got all nasty and seedy. But there is just a lot to do in Georgetown. So people there also love being outdoors, and there's Lake Georgetown, and there's trails, and there's just all sorts of parks all over the place. So if you're moving to the Austin area and you're working at all like north of downtown Austin, so maybe the Domain or IBM or Dell and Round Rock or something like that, you have to think about Georgetown. Like, if Georgetown is not on your list of towns that you're considering, like, you're doing it wrong. All right, now let's talk about this particular neighborhood. So this neighborhood that we're in today is called Parkside on the River. And honestly, I kind of acted earlier like I've never been here before. Like, I've definitely been here before, and it's amazing. And we've had clients who have moved into this neighborhood, and they absolutely love it. And I would say, like, a few of the things that people and families love about this neighborhood are, first, again, you're in Georgetown, but you're kind of equidistant to Georgetown and Leander and Cedar Park. So you can like hop into Georgetown if you want and all the conveniences that it offers. You can also hop into Leander if you want and take advantages of all the convenience that Leander offers. But like, out here, you really do feel like you are in like the northern central Texas hill country out here. Like, the views are just awesome. Aaron's sighting number 18. I think it's Aaron sighting number 18 over here. That's how old he is. Just kidding. Another thing people love out here are the schools. So this is something that you really have to pay special attention to, okay? So about half of the neighborhood out here is zoned to Georgetown ISD, which is a totally fine school district, but the other half is actually zoned to Leander ISD. And if you know anything about school districts in the Texas area, you are gonna know that Leander ISD is one of the top. So like Lake Travis ISD, Eanes ISD, Round Rock ISD, Leander ISD, Dripping Springs ISD, those are the top 5 school districts in Central Texas. And Leander ISD, like, for what you can get in terms of home prices, which we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, it is unreasonable how great of a bang for your buck you get out here being in Leander ISD. So if the school district is important to you, that's another reason that you got to get a hold of our team, because they'll sit down with you and show you what parts of this neighborhood are in Leander and what parts of town are in Georgetown ISD. And honestly, like, especially if you're moving here from out of the area, from out of state, the school districts can be so stinking weird. So like, all up and down Ronald Reagan Boulevard, which is where we're really close to that, you got Austin ISD at the bottom, you got Round Rock ISD, Leander ISD, Georgetown ISD, you even have Gerald ISD, okay? So there are certain parts of this neighborhood, Parkside on the River, where you're gonna be zoned to Leander ISD. Then there's certain parts of other neighborhoods in northern Georgetown where you're going to be zoned to Gerald ISD. So it can be really confusing if you're trying to navigate this all by yourself. So just do not do that. Another reason that a lot of people consider this neighborhood is the amenities. All right. So at this point, you've got one amenity center with a pool and a park. There's trails all over the neighborhood, but there's another amenity center where we were just at, where you've got a great pool, again, a park, multiple pickleball courts, and they're actually working on building out a third amenity center right now. So speaking of building out, currently this neighborhood has about 1,500 home sites, like buildable home sites here. And right now they're about 40% of the way sold. Okay, so tons of opportunities still left in this neighborhood. Like they're gonna be here for years to come. And typically when you've got a neighborhood like this with so many amenities and so many just like great things to do, your HOA payment is gonna be about 150 to 180 bucks a month. But out here at Parkside on the River, your HOA payment is right about $70 a month. Now, let's talk about property taxes, okay? The property tax rate out here at Parkside is about 2.589%. I don't know why I said about, because it's exactly 2.589%. All right, one last thing I want to talk about before we get into our second home tour is, and this can be a positive or negative depending on who you are and what you like. One of the common themes that a lot of people that do move into this neighborhood, they love being off the beaten path. They love being outside of the hustle and bustle. So on that note, there's a road called Highway 29 that runs east and west, kind of right through Georgetown. And we're like smack in the middle, like I said earlier, between Georgetown and Leander. And so like, honestly, there really isn't a whole lot of commercial development like right here in the community. Like some of these communities, you have an H-E-B grocery store, a ton of retail restaurants and things like that, like right at the entrance. Out here at Parkside, you do not have that yet. Okay, so you're about 9 miles from the Georgetown H-E-B and about 11 miles away from the Leander H-E-B, just to give you an idea. So some people don't like that. So if you're the type of person who's just like, nope, I need to have a great hospital system like minutes away from me, you are not gonna get that out here, okay? So to have stuff to do outside of your neighborhood at this point, you are gonna have to drive a little ways. But I do know that there are a bunch of commercial lots at the beginning, like at the entrance of this neighborhood. It's just none of us know exactly when those are gonna get built out. And so I wouldn't want you to expect something like that moving in here, because it could be 10, 15, 20 years before you got anything like that. But if you're cool driving 10, 15 minutes down the road to get to grocery stores, retail, conveniences, and things to do like that, then in that case, you would pretty much have access to anything you could possibly want to do within that amount of drive time. But to be clear, people move out here for peace, quiet, serenity, great quality homes, and excellent schools. So speaking of great quality homes, let's get you into that second house right now. All right, so you've seen the house next door. It's pretty awesome. We talked to you about Georgetown, about this community, about this neighborhood. Now it's time to show you the Mac Daddy. All right, this is the 60-foot lot house. Perfect example of what you can get in Georgetown for this price, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But guys, like, I'm serious. This house, this plan is pretty special. I'm seriously so excited to show it to you, not just because it's hotter than Hades out here. It really is really cool. All right, so let's step in. So again, like we did in the last house, I'm gonna skip some things in the front and I'm gonna take you straight into the heart because I think it's really cool. It's super impressive. All right, so you've got these soaring ceilings here in the living area, and then it opens up into kind of like a big breakfast kitchen area, and then the dining room is just right over here, kind of like tucked away. So let's start walking through. So Aaron siding number 3. Dude, love them. We all them. Okay. So the living room, huge. You could put whatever kind of stinking furniture you wanted in here. Doesn't really matter, it's big enough. You got these big sliding accordion doors here, which will go out in the backyard here in just a little bit. But again, I love these ceilings. Perfect. Okay, so it flows right into kind of this breakfast area. And honestly, like, this breakfast area isn't your little run-of-the-mill dinky little breakfast area. This is like a full dining area, okay? And it's not even the dining room. All right, so then coming into the kitchen, actually I want to give you a different view of it here. This kitchen is freaking baller, all right? So you got these, I'm assuming these are like quartzite, polished quartzite countertops, humongous island. I think this island is the size of like an actual island somewhere in the Pacific. Big kind of ceramic, I think, single sink right in the middle. You got the stovetop burners right over here. I mean, guys, like, look at this kitchen. Like, it is just impressive. There is storage everywhere, okay? We got us another corner pantry, so about the same size as the pantry, if not exactly the same size as the pantry next door. But again, because it's a corner pantry, you can do a lot more with it. All right, so you got yourself, again, a little area over here for coffee, bar area, whatever you want to use it for. But you know how I said no one uses dining rooms anymore? This is a dining room, but it's not exactly a dining room. It's kind of a dining space. So you got your breakfast area right over here. I could totally see this being used. My kids would use this for just like doing school projects, homework, like things like that. Absolutely. And then over here, I could see actually like eating our meals over here. Again, this could be a great area for doing homework, whatever you want to do, having like a game night or something like that. Like, I still like that it's not like a dining room that's like closed off, and it's still kind of like tucked away, but a little bit open, if that makes sense. Okay, let's check out right over here, kind of tucked away behind the living room is the master. Again, similar size master to the house next door. Even though this house is a lot bigger in size, you're gonna see even out in the living room upstairs, like, you're gonna see where some of that space comes into play, okay? But again, great size master, just like the one next door, big windows out to the backyard. You got this kind of like beefy sliding kind of frosted out door here leading into the bathroom. Couple things I want to note here in the bathroom that I'm really into is this humongoid walk-in shower. Like, this is the shower that dreams are made of. All right, I just step down just a little bit. Okay, and then you've got, again, this kind of standalone garden tub here that just backs up right into the shower. And then you've got the double vanities kind of right next to each other here, again, with a lot of storage under the sinks here. Aaron siding number 4.
Dude, this 5 is humongoid.
This place is so huge, yet Aaron and I continue to run into each other. I'm just following you,
Coordination
honestly.
today.
Okay, so right here, we got a lot of doors here. So this is the commode room. Right next to that is this really big, spacious master closet. And there's a closet in the closet. Oh, okay. So, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this the first time I walked through. So right at the back of the master closet is the utility room, which is really convenient. And then you walk out of this utility room and you're back at that first guest room that we showed you earlier. Oh, I didn't show you the guest room earlier, but I will show you the guest room here in just a little bit. It basically goes back out to the front of the house. And then we got a linen closet right behind this door. You're just gonna have to trust me on that. All right, so now let's take it back to the backyard, and then we'll hit kind of the front of the house and show you some things that we missed. So just like the house next door, with this one, you get a big old honkin' jumbo covered back patio. Like, I don't know if this shot just gives you a sense of how humongous this back patio is, but like, my wife, kids, and I would love to have a back patio like this. Holy freaking moly. And then we'll step down here. And so, like I said, this is a 60-foot lot. So again, that just means from the imaginary fence right over here to this fence right here is 60 feet wide, okay? So that is a very nice size lot. And actually this neighborhood is just about to open up some 70 and 80 foot lots. Those homes are gonna be like freaking Mac Daddy mansions, like into the millions easily. And these homes are not, which again, we'll talk to you about the prices here in just a little bit. But I think this neighborhood also builds 45-foot lots. But for me, like the 50s and the 60s, that's the sweet spot. I think these are the best deals by far. All right, I'm gonna skip the stairs, take you back to the front. We're at the front door. And again, I'm sounding like a broken record here, just like the last house. If we hang a left, we've got this nice study, office, playroom area. Again, just as impressive as the one next door. And you've also got these glass pane double doors here, which I really appreciate. And then right over here, this is the builder's sales office currently, but normally this is kind of like a mudroom area, and then this leads into a 3-car tandem garage. And then on the opposite side of the hallway, I'm gonna take this hallway all the way down to the end. You've got your guest room, and ooh, I wanna show you something. A lot of people don't think about this stuff. So you've got windows, right, out to the front, which is great. But also, I love, they easily could have continued the wall all the way to the end here, but they decided to put another window here, which is not cheap, okay? And that brings in natural light from two sides of the room, which is a completely different lighting dynamic than just having one side of the room with lighting coming in. Like, pay attention to this in your normal life and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. And that's another thing I love about this builder. Like, they don't cut costs, and like they put in little things like that. Okay, one thing I love about this plan is that the guest room in this house actually has an attached bathroom, all right? So it's got walk-in shower, commode, and sink, just like the last house, except this one is actually attached to this room, which is super, super convenient. And then we've got the utility room here, which again, leads back into the master closet right over there. Very convenient. And then at the very end of the hall, at the beginning of the hall, I guess, we've got a guest bath, which this guest bath is like, this is, again, they could have just put drywall right here, but they didn't. They actually put backsplash from floor to ceiling. So I really appreciate that. That is the entire downstairs. And so all we need to do now is check out the upstairs. I say all we need to do. It's freaking awesome. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Okay, you get to the top of the stairs and I'm just gonna continue straight here, and you've got a game room, which they put a ping pong table here in this game room. I wish they do have paddles. Aaron, we should play ping pong in a little bit. Let's do it. I will cook you. So anyway, I have a ping pong table here, and some people might be like, wait, but like, why don't you have a TV here? I will tell you why you don't have a TV here, because you get an entire media room dedicated up here. So obviously this is where you would put a TV, a big old sectional couch, set it up like a movie theater. Honestly, 3 of my favorite movies here: Inception, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Interstellar. That's crazy. One thing I really like about this media room is that they've got windows in the media room. So that means, like, if you wanted to turn this into another bedroom, you absolutely could, or you could just put a couple little blackout curtains up there and this is a perfect blacked out media room. But I really like just having that option there. So again, if that's something that's important to you, you gotta let our team know so that we can search for it, find it, and we'll negotiate it for you, okay? Now, over here is kind of like the bedroom wing, all right? So at the end of the hallway here, you've got a bedroom. There's not an attached bathroom, but again, look at this. Windows on 2 sides of the wall. They absolutely did not have to do this. Very nice sized closet here. Oh man, really nice sized closet. I didn't even notice that the first time I walked through here. Whew. All right, and then I'm gonna hang a left. We got another bedroom, all right. Closet area here, totally normal kid-sized closet. Oh, actually, so we've got a bedroom, and then it leads into this area, this little vestibule here with a sink. And go in here, we got the toilet, or the commode, I should say, is what we said in Southeast Texas, the commode. Got a shower tub combo, another sink in here. So this is kind of like a Jack and Jill bathroom. Basically, this just means, like, if you have guests up here, they don't have to go through someone's bedroom to use the bathroom. But then also, one bedroom like this one does kind of have an attached bathroom, so nice touch. So seriously, those are 2 of my favorite houses in one of my favorite neighborhoods, in one of my absolute favorite suburbs of the Austin, Texas area. So now let's talk about some stats and some pricing of the homes out here. All right, so first, let's talk about kind of price ranges in this neighborhood, at least for these 50-foot and these 60-foot lots. And keep in mind, there are 45-foot lots that are a little bit cheaper, and then in the future, there are gonna be 70 and 80-foot lots, and those are gonna be significantly more, okay? So if you wanted to buy a 50-foot lot with this builder in this community, a 1-story home, 2,187 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a full 2-car garage, a very nice house. And that home is going to cost you, the base price is going to be $655,000. So no upgrades if you just came in and you said, hey, I want to build a home totally from scratch, 0 upgrades, 0 lot premium, anything like that, $655K. Okay, now the most expensive home you could buy, or that you could build on a 50-foot lot, is going to be a 2,797 square foot home. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3.5 bath actually, with a 2-car garage. It's got a home office, game room, and the base price of that home is going to run you about $753,000, okay? And we always say plan on putting about 10% extra into the home in terms of upgrades. So for a $753,000 home, plan on putting about $76,000 of upgrades into it. because no one really likes to buy the base model. Like, no matter what your builder is, the base model usually looks pretty darn sad. All right, now wait till you hear the pricing for this model that we're in, which we're gonna get to here in just a second. But first, if you wanted to buy a home on a 60-foot lot, right? So the bigger lot, kind of where we're at right now, the second home, the cheapest you're gonna be able to build a home is gonna be one-story home. It's gonna be 2,776 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage. Again, with a home office, the base price of that home is going to run you $764,000. So just a hair bit more expensive than the most expensive 50-foot lot home. All right. Now, if you wanted to blow it out and you're like, I want the most expensive home on a 60-foot lot, that home is going to be 3,568 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath, 3-car garage, family room, media room, home office, the whole nine. The base price of that home is $837,000. So again, plan on putting about $84,000 of upgrades into that home just to make it exactly what you want. Now, right before I tell you the prices of the models that we've seen today, first, I want to tell you I have an exclusive pricing sheet. If you want access to these pricing sheets, shoot us an email, give us a call, shoot us a text. Like, we will hook you up with everything that we're seeing here. Okay? So before we talk about the prices of the models, I just want to tell you about some of the best deals. Like, I've been talking to the builders, the builder reps here. I have kind of combed through everything, and I'm like, man, if I were to just walk in here and be like, yo, I want the best deal I can possibly get. I want the most bang for my buck. Here is what I would look at right now. And just so you know, everything I'm about to tell you about is what's called an inventory home. So it's not like you can build it from scratch and customize it. It is like already built. It's just sitting there waiting for someone to buy it, which is why the builder is willing to give such like hefty discounts for these homes. All right, so the first one is on a 50-foot lot. It is a 2-story home. It is 2,722 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths, 2-car garage, like a really, really nice home. Just like a week ago, it was priced at $746,000, but they just slashed the price to $650,000. So that's seriously almost a $100,000 price reduction, people. That's wild. Okay, now there are other incentives that come along with that, like, you know, chat with us, we'll get with the builder, we'll get you some points paid off, we'll get you some closing costs paid, but you've got to reach out to us to get access to that stuff. So another home I would look at on a 50-foot lot, very similar, except this one is a 2,561 square foot home. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath house, 2 stories, 2-car garage. It's interesting, it's actually a smaller house, but they fit an extra half bath in there somehow. Just a week ago, it was listed at for sale for $723,000, and today they have slashed the price to $650,000. So that's like a $73,000 price reduction. Like, this is bonkers. And so if you're a buyer out there and you want to take advantage of this great market for buyers, great builder, great neighborhood, great town, like, get a hold of us right now. Okay. If I were looking for a great deal on a 60-foot lot, there's really 2 options I would really zero in on. Let's just call it 3,400 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath, like family room, media room, like game room, like all the stuff. It was previously listed at $912,000, but today they just slashed the price to $830,000. So that's $82,000 of a price reduction. Like, Aaron, have you seen this before?
No.
No, it is freaking nuts. Now, the number one house that I would zero in on if I were moving here, the one that I would buy personally, is a 1-story house, and it's over 3,100 square feet. You rarely see homes over 3,000 square feet that are 1-story, but it's on a 60-foot lot, so you can do that. It's 3,112 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5-bath, 3-car garage, media room, the whole deal, 1 story. I freaking love that. Last week, it was listed at $867,000, and today it's priced at $790,000. So that's $77,000 of a price reduction. That is the one that I would buy right there, and it's ready. So if you want it, call us. Now, let's talk about the pricing for these models that we have shown you today. All right, so just to recap, the first home that we showed you was on a 50-foot lot. It was 2,694 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, game room, home office. Now, the base price of that home is $754,000. So if you wanted to buy it from scratch, empty lot, no lot premiums, anything like that, it would be $754,000. Now, normally we come in and we're like, hey, here's the base price of the home, but the model's like $250,000, $350,000 more than the base price. The builder let us know that there's only about $60,000 of upgrades in that home, which is crazy, which means if you wanted to buy that home from scratch, just like you saw it, it would be about $810,000, which is absolutely bonkers, people. Now, this model that we're in right now, the Mag Daddy, super impressive, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, really impressive living room, kitchen, breakfast area, dining area, a study, 3-car garage, the big old game room, media room, way bigger lot, crazy, 3,399 square feet. So let's call it 3,400 square feet. The base price of this home to build is $849,000. But if you wanted to buy it exactly the way it is, just like this, you wanted to build it and you wanted all the upgrades that they have in here, it's about $90,000. So the price for that home would be about $940,000. So guys, the idea that you can buy this house on a big lot like this, crazy nice house like this for well under $1 million in the Austin, Texas area, I'm sorry, but like, this is why people move here. And really this right here is why so many people have relocated to Georgetown. And if you want to see a full vlog tour of Georgetown, as well as some of our other favorite Austin, Texas suburbs, you can check out that playlist right here.